You see the title, The Great Deception. The Great Deception of America. You see the candidates they throwing out for the presidency. Two old men. You see the dangers in that. You see Trump still up to the same old tricks. You see Biden seem like his health is deteriorating. Um, but I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but he looks a little. He looks a little bewildered at times. The Great Deception. You see Ryan Garcia and his antics. Um, Very disturbing. A person of that stature. Now he's been going through some drama of his own doing. By the way, I don't know if he has a mental situation going on. I don't know what he's going through. Uh, but he went viral for using the N word several times, um, disparaging remarks about Muslims, about Black Americans, African Americans, calling them N words, and just real nasty rhetoric. I don't know what's going on with him. He seems to be spiraling, kind of out of control, but I don't know. But it's concerning. His behavior is really becoming concerning. And so, who's to say? Who's to say what this, what he's going through with steroids, the suspensions, uh, his remarks, his latest remarks got him suspended from, I believe, the WBC commission uh, for until further notice, I guess, or for a year, I believe. So he's going through it, man. But and he's since apologized for his rhetoric. Um, I just can't deal with that guy, man. I just can't. I can't do it. Not after what I heard, and I hear his apology, but I just can't. Uh, I respect the fact that he did apologize, but I don't respect what he said, and that's right now what he said regarding Black people and Muslims. Um, was really disturbing, and it was nasty, and it was it's just no one of a sound mind can respect anything like that. So um, he apologized. Take his apology for what it's worth. I just can't deal with that guy uh, for the foreseeable future. I just can't see myself, having any. And I don't pay for his fights anyway. I don't support him like that. I catch him on YouTube. I don't. I don't pay for these fights anymore because I just, I just don't do it. You know what I mean? So I never gave him that support like that, but he was a boxer. I'm a fan of the sport, so uh, he's one of the top level guys. But obviously, he's going through some drama in his life, and his mental is all over the place. He needs to get his head together, um, and maybe take some time out to reflect. You know, his behavior. What is it that's gnawing at him for him to express himself in this a whole race of people? You know what I mean? In a religion. You know what I'm saying? So um, this is a guy who represents the world. When he had his title championship. So, um, so it is what it is, man. And what can you do? I mean, he has to live with that. That's something that the public and people will ultimately, um, you know, give their opinion, court of public opinion. Um, Ultimately, that would play out there, however which way it goes. Whether he's canceled, whether he's his career get resurrected. I don't know. What I mean? But I just can't see myself supporting someone who reflects those views, regardless of his apology. I get it, but I just can't get past that rhetoric at this present time. Um, I was watching, um, I was in YouTube and I got a recommendation about a channel, um, well, a video, and I just clicked on it and it seemed like this guy was getting robbed on the back streets in the neighborhood. I don't know, they were down south some kind of way. And it was kind of wild because he was getting robbed. And obviously, it was being filmed or being videotaped or filmed. And the guy was in the process of robbing this guy. And there was a back and forth convo as the robber was, you know, getting his running the person's jewels and his shoes and glasses and hat. Um, and I assume some cash or whatever. But I guess the other guy was just kind of like, trying to hold some pride up at that, hey, look, this is happening to me. I'm trying to stay safe and persevere to another day. But at the same time, I'm trying to let this cat know, if there was a different time, you're lucky you got the drop on me. So that's the back and forth that was there. And I thought that was kind of crazy because I'm like, bro, this guy got a gun in his hand. It's not no average gun. This is one of these guns that are pretty serious and weaponry. So I wouldn't be kind of flexing or not flexing, but trying to show, it's just property. It's just money. Get back home to your kids, your wife, and whatever, man. No need for all that. Yes, it's your pride. You feel like as a man, you know what I mean. But at the same time, you got caught lacking, and that happens. You're on the back streets and you're walking. I guess you're just out taking a Sunday stroll. I mean, a stroll or whatever. I think this happened yesterday. The streets don't care, man. They don't care. They don't care about your past. They don't care about anything. They just care about the moment. And the moment can be detrimental if you're not smart. So that's just the way it is. It could be detrimental. So I just found that to be interesting. You know what I mean? People, be careful. People, be careful while you're out. Pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to your surroundings. Be safe. Be smart. Don't get out here and it's so easy to just go be routine in your daily lives, but at the same time, you got to be smart too. Mm, Especially if you're a woman or anybody for that matter. You know what I mean? You got people out here that prey on people, man, and they look for weak people that can show them the least resistance. Like, teenagers, or kids and women and elderly people. You got scum of the earth that's out there doing that. You know what I mean? So I don't think anybody fear prison anymore. And I think they just do what they have to do, and they worry about it later. And so you have an element of that that's in the streets that they don't really care about jail. Sometimes jail does them a favor, gives them three hots and a cot. You know what I mean? Depending on the climate, what year, time of year it is for the winter. You know what I mean? They might be homeless. They go to jail 3 4 months. They out and about in summertime, going back to doing what they do. So it is what it is. And a lot of times it's just crazy because you got the immigration laws that's adding to this madness. And so you have a election coming up. You have the primaries coming up. Well, they're pretty much done, but you got um, the conventions coming up of both parties. And from what I've tuned into, um, it's all about Biden and his fitness to be president. You know Trump, what he's coming with. Um, he has the 91 indictments. He's a uh, 34 felony convictions in his latest fraud case. So this is the great deception. This is what I'm saying. It's like people don't care anymore. It's like we're just going about life, and no one. It's all deception. It's all made up. It's all planned. It seems like it's just all a big stage, a performance. And I know there's an agenda, but it just seemed to me that a lot of times um, it's so easy to figure out that this stuff has just been staged and planned. And we as people just eat it up because we just don't know any better. We refuse to think outside the box. We refuse to be a free thinker. And we go along and we're steered into these different lanes of thought that's been manufactured by the government. And the government ultimately controls the media. There's free press, but it's not as free as it used to be. Everybody's now is corrupted by the bag. You get a bag of money and they slant the news. Let's not be naive. This has been going on for years. Everything is manipulated, just like the music business. The labels manipulate the corporate radio, payola, and you get certain records, that favors that's under certain labels. They get the button push and they get played and played and played until it's burned in your memory thoughts. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying this has got nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar, not like us. That's a separate, different, um, organic thing within itself. That's props to Kendrick, but I'm just saying other people, just in general, how music is played out. Um, but it's really wild. You know what I mean? So I just continue to be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to influence anyone. I'm just here to give commentary and content, however controversial it might be. But these are just my thoughts and how I go about my life. You know what I'm saying? So uh, it's crazy. A lot of people in getting back to this robbery, um, a lot of people would do anything for content. A lot of times, this is how people eat. YouTube is their revenue source to a lot of these people. That's all they do. You know what I'm saying? So you become creative in more deception. So it's all links up. You know what I mean? It all links up. It all goes into another uh, avenue, lane. You know what I'm saying? Different rabbit holes, and so everybody's you know a content king, so to speak. So but and I rarely go live. I just rarely do it. But every now and then, I just like tonight. I'm not really. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and I kind of passed out earlier. You know what I'm saying? I was in the heat all day. Literally, from the time I left my home, I was out in the heat outside all day long. So by the time I got back here, which is around four something, I was through. I was done. And then I took a nap and got back up. I guess around, I don't know. I took a nap around 9:30 or so in p.m. and woke back up maybe around 11, close to 12. So I've been up ever since. And I've just been, you know, just chilling. Just chilling. I'm not going to be long, though. I'm not going to hold anyone. Like I said, I'm just going through the emotions and all this thing with Ryan Garcia. Um, it's amazing how people switch up. That's why I say it has something to do with, maybe it's something with his mental, because it seems like people just switch up and they do what they want to do when it's convenient, and then they go apologize when they realize, or when they come down from whatever, maybe some mental enhancements that they've been involved with, or you know what I mean. I don't know, but it's weird, man. It's weird. Everyone wants to, everyone has something against the brothers and the sisters, and they want to say all these negative words and you know racial um, slurs and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. But to me, I'm not falling for the okie doke. You know what I mean? Who put him up to say that? I mean, was this always his thoughts? You know what I mean? Now I know he's Latino descent, but he's an American. And I think he even said in his apologies, he loves black people. So he's here, he's there. I don't know what's going on with this kid, man. You know what I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. He's got, he mentioned that, some of these people that's in his circle are amping him up, maybe, and maybe that's, he has to re-examine his circle. And that's always smart. It's always smart to take an assessment of where you're at. And if people are there that's hurting you, that's negative, then you need to remove them. You know what I'm saying? And that's your decision. That's a decision you need to stand on, because you don't need anyone who doesn't have your best interest at heart. So you need to remove those people, from your inner circle, and you need to try not to be so insulated. You know what I mean? Uh, I don't know why you said those comments, Ryan. It's very, very disappointed. Um, very disappointed for you to be young and to say those things. For you to be that age, it's a very disappointing thing, man. Very disappointing, man. I just think that for you to be a champion, a former champion, in the type of sport that you're in, where you meet different people of different ethnicities, and you're just to say that and to make those comments about the Muslims, regardless of what your views are, but are you going to disparage a whole religion, one of the most fastest growing religions out, to say what you said? Yeah, you got to be held accountable for that. And a lot of people right now, from what I'm gathering and what I've heard on, and I'm getting the tone that they're not messing with you, bro. They're not messing with you. They're tired of it. I mean, this past few months since the fight, leading up to the fight, and now this. It's been a wave of emotions with you, and I think when you bring up race and have racial slurs towards a people, a proud people, a people that goes through, they go through it, man. You know what I mean? For reasons unknown, because only because they're black. Um, you know what I mean? And black people have supported you. And for you to do that, and what goodwill you had, or if you still have any goodwill, you need to really take a self-assessment of your situation and where you at. The apology is a first step in your recovery towards your self rehabilitating. I mean, being you just got to build yourself back up, bro. Your integrity, everything is like you just basically destroyed it. You got to rehabilitate yourself back up to the public, and that's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. And you're not going to be able to smile and giggle your way through this one, Ryan. You're not, because people have had enough of this racial stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It's 2024, about to embark on 2025. You know what I mean? We're in the second half of the year. We this is July. You know what I mean? So see how quick it goes. Um, so you really need to get yourself together, for real. The apology was the first step. Uh, I'm not here to judge how sincere that apology was. That's not for me to judge. Um, but it was the first step to your rehabilitation, as far as your view of people. And you know, this is not our fault. You know what I mean? So this is all on you. You decided to, you know, use those type of words and disparage people. That's on you. You know what I mean? So if you feeling pressure, you deserve to feel pressure. Like I said, you're a former world champion of boxing. We expect our champions, to act professional. And if you're gonna voice your opinions, we expect you to do it eloquently you know, and not call out a group of people and disparage them and use racial slurs. That's very disappointing. So I don't know what to tell you. But I know you can't. People are going to be looking at you closely, and they're going to point out if you're, you know, boxing, you're ducking and using deception. And right now we're at the great deception. You know, in my opinion, everyone wants to go viral. No one wants to be themselves. Everyone wants to be everybody else. Or maybe that's what they were all the time. Maybe they always was a weirdo. Maybe they always was addicted to the camera and you know attention whores. We do have attention whores in this country. You know what I mean? People love the spotlight. They love the limelight. They love being the center of attention. That's their personality. And so we have to really, really um, hold people accountable for their actions because we didn't do it. We just going about our daily lives. We didn't, provoke him. I don't know what. Um, I don't know what his mindset is. Someone who's, I don't know what the mindset of you know, a racist is. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a racist. So I am race conscious, but I'm not a racist. I do understand that there's comfort zones for people when they're amongst their, their group, themselves. I get that, but and so I get they feel comfortable with their own, and when there's some diversity or someone that they're not really familiar with or comfortable with, it kind of get awkward. But we can still learn from each other. I mean, it's not we've been working together all these years. It's just that it's been as far as a higher plane of elevation in these corporations. There's been it's been the playing field hasn't been leveled, and so that's where we have complaints because it seems to be a ceiling on people who look like me as far as positions. We're great at being, you know, if you want to put us in a manager, I guess you feel comfortable with just managing. But when it comes to being a vice president, being a partner of the company, if that availability is there, uh, it seems that those positions are rarely made available or rarely offered to a person who looks like me, male or female. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm not trying to over sensationalize it. It's just what I feel. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying I could be I could be wrong. I mean, but what I see, and I witness it through world events and through my lifespan, I've seen that the top tier jobs and are you rarely see a lot of black people that hold these top tier positions, these ranking positions, as far as government, as far as corporations, unless they, go into business for themselves. And even then, it's a struggle because the simple fact is um, we run into a lot of interference when it comes to loans for our business. And, I'm not saying we shouldn't be vetted, but I do think that we should have a category for entrepreneurs that are um, that are there that have been identified as maybe someone who needs that extra, not to say assistance, but um, an extra level of get around the gatekeeper, so to speak. You dig what I'm saying? I'm trying to word it and keep it not really just like keep it. It hasn't been inclusive. You know what I mean? And I'm all about inclusion. And so there seem to be a lot of gatekeepers that are dictating who's allowed, who's not allowed. You know what I'm saying? So now, whether that's, of course, that's racially, all factors, come into play. Racial factor, uh, financial factors, uh, economics, all different factors. So that's why I call it the Great Deception. But anyway, that's my time. That's my lie. I'm not going to be, like I said, I wasn't going to be long. I'm when I'm at 30 minutes or so. So yeah, that's perfect for me. Uh, but anyway, man, Vanguardian 650. Peace.